What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy the Judgmental Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is Phil.
And I'm Leroy. So, what's going on, Phil?
Nothing, chilling. Waiting for this football season to get busy.
All right, well, like Phil said, the Eagles are traveling to Arizona. I think it's Glendale, Arizona, to face the Cardinals at State Farm Arena. State Farm Arena is in the dome, so you don't have to worry about weather. The Eagles are a 5.5 favorite, and the over and under is 45. So, how do you feel about the point spread and the over and under?
What's the point spread? 45?
Over and under is 48.5. The point spread is 5.5.
I'm going to go with the over.
The on a point spread or the over and under?
Over and under.
Or what about the point spread?
Point spread, I'm going to go over on that also.
Okay. So you think it's going to be a high scoring game where one team is going to blow out the other team?
Well, I'm looking at like 17-27.
Okay. So on the injuries front, so on the Eagles, we got kicker Jake Elliott is out with an ankle injury. Cornerback Avonte Mattis, second week in a row, he's out with an ankle injury. Linebacker Patrick Johnson is out with a concussion. And offensive tackle Jordan Mailata is out with a shoulder injury. On the Cardinals front, their kicker is also out with a hip injury. Linebacker Nick Virgil is out with a hamstring. And defensive tackle Rashad Lawrence is out with a hand injury. There's a lot of questionable and doubtfuls on the injury front on the Cardinals. I'm not going to read those because last week I said that one of the Eagles players was out. I forget who it was, and he played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about how the game is going to go?
I think it should be a good matchup back and forth. Then I think we'll probably pull away later, like a low score, and then start picking up in the second half.
Right.
They don't really have a running attack. So if we just focus on Kyle, what's the name? Kyle Murray.
Mm-hmm.
If we focus on him, we should be all right. It's one thing when you playing with a team with a good running back and dope receivers. They got some solid receivers. I wouldn't say any of them is dope, but they solid. And a quarterback, that's probably their weakness. Because if they had a running game, Kyler Murray would be better.
Right.
But with no running game, he's the quarterback and the running back.
And that's funny because he's known as being a scrambler and a runner. He hasn't been running this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what they like to do to the black running quarterback.
And what's that?
Make him sit in the pocket and get his ass kicked.
Well, you got to sit in the pocket if you want to win. So I disagree with your comment. Name a running quarterback.
Lamar Jackson.
And he can throw the football. So
now
no.
when he first took over, he didn't. He just ran.
Okay, and what they do?
They made the playoffs. He won MVP.
He won MVP, but what did they do? What did the team do?
Everybody can't win the Super Bowl. They won games. That's what I'm saying.
But they didn't win a Super Bowl. There's no running quarterback is ever going to win a Super Bowl. No strictly running quarterback is ever. They tried it with your boy. Colin Kaepernick. They tried it with Colin Kaepernick. He did good that Super Bowl year, but what happened when he came back? He couldn't do shit because he couldn't throw the football in the pocket.
It's not about throwing from the pocket to win the Super Bowl. You gotta have, if you can't throw it, you gotta have other stuff that works for you. Mm-hmm. So like John Elway never won a Super Bowl until he had a dope running back. You know what I mean? Fucking running back got 2,000 yards and fucking killed it. And then if you look at Peyton Manning's last championship, he barely even threw the ball. He had like a fucking 40 QBR. Barely threw the ball. But that defense, the running game, that's what won that Super Bowl. So you can win a Super Bowl without sitting in the pocket throwing it.
Of course, you have to have more than a good quarterback that's sitting in the pocket to win the Super Bowl. But the quarterbacks you name can actually sat in the pocket and threw the football field. There's no running quarterback.
You're talking about the Super Bowl. So if you look at Peyton Manning's last,
at the end of the game, at the end of the day, Philip, what a team want to win? You want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, right?
Hold on, you cut me off. You're trying to tell me a running quarterback can't win?
No,
that you have to sit in the pocket. And that's bullshit. If you have everything else, the cushion that they can win, and I just gave you two examples of quarterbacks that didn't throw the ball that good in the Super Bowl and still won the Super Bowl.
But sir, they can sit in the pocket when it came down to it. They can Peyton Manning and John Elway can sit in the pocket
and do what? Throw interceptions? Peyton Manning ain't do shit that last Super Bowl, and he still won.
Your boy
Pull up
Shannon.
his stats and look at his stats.
Your boy Shannon Sharp said that there's no running
Don't
quarterback,
hold on.
no
Don't use
street
Shannon
running
Sharp.
quarterback
Don't use
is going to win
don't
the Super Bowl.
don't ever use Shannon Sharp, because when Shannon Sharp agree with me, then you don't want to listen to what he got to say. But when he agrees with you, then you throw it in my face. So don't bring up Shannon Sharp
No,
unless you can stay neutral when you bring it up.
Michael Vick was a toast of the town. Had a 99 rating on Madden football. Ain't won shit.
Yeah, well, Michael Vick was a fucking bum.
No, don't say that. That's an argument when people tell you that when people tell you that.
Yeah, people from Atlanta, but
They everybody thinks he was a great football quarterback.
like he threw his most passing yards on the Eagles,
Exactly.
and that
Well,
was
he
only
doesn't.
and that was only 3,000 yards.
He doesn't even have 30,000 yards passing.
Well, that's
What
what I mean.
quarterback?
Like,
That's my point. What
no.
quarterback
What I'm saying is,
that done
see,
anything?
see,
Go
so
ahead.
so you going from the extreme to the other end. Like, you can throw the ball not as bad as Michael Vick, but better. Like these like Kaepernick threw for the when he became a starter. I believe he threw for more than Michael Vick total for his high. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can run the ball and still be able to. You got to have a combination of both. You can't just sit back there and not throw. And Kyler Murray, he had 30 touchdowns last year passing, so he can throw the ball.
Okay, yeah, but all that running shit, he was running shit too. Now, what was I saying about the playoffs? I can't wait till we already have a guest coming on. I don't want to say just in case he don't show. I can't wait till I want to hear his opinion on Kyle Murray. What I said, because personally, I think that the clock is ticking. This will be 3 years of fucking up. That if he fuck up in the playoffs this year, this would be he be going in his fourth year next season of fucking up. Good stats in the regular season, but don't do shit in the playoffs. And also
But it's
again,
quarterbacks that sit in the pocket that do the same thing. Look at David Carr. He put up big numbers in the regular season. Ain't done shit in the playoffs. Can't buy a win.
him too. Hey, look, I'm not discriminating.
Right,
Him
but what I'm
too.
saying, well, I mentioned him because he's a pocket passer. So
No,
it's
and
not all about just a scrambling quarterback on a hot seat. It's
and
quarterbacks that ain't doing shit on a hot seat.
and I mentioned Kyler Murray because they'll have good regular season. They'll be
Mm-hmm.
like the best team in the league and supposedly going to the Super Bowl. They get in the playoffs and he can't do shit in the playoffs.
I never saw them as the team predicted to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, they did say
Everybody say like how good they is, and that's a team to worry about. But I've never seen no one say they was going to win the Super Bowl. And
yes, sir.
they
I
never
want
had a top they never had a top defense, and they never have a running game. So those two factors alone will stop you from winning the championship.
I want to say last year or the year before last, but I'm going to
No,
focus on last year. Yes, they did. I'm serious. Yes, they did.
I bet you
Yes, they
Tampa Bay was
did.
the favorite to repeat.
I didn't say win the Super Bowl. I said go to the Super Bowl. They was
They both can't go.
nobody said Tampa. No, I'm one of the teams. I'm telling you, the Phoenix Cardinals was one of the teams that was supposed to be in Super Bowl
I didn't hear that.
competition.
I
Yes,
heard
it did.
that's a team that people worried about, but ain't nobody project them to be going
And
to no championship.
Kyler Murray went to the playoffs and couldn't do shit, and that's why. Shout out to also your boy Shannon Sharp again. Shannon Sharp said that he don't trust Kyler Murray for that reason.
Okay, and there's a whole bunch of other quarterbacks. Everybody can't win the Super. Look at Dak Prescott. He had the bomb squad 2 years ago before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But when he go to playoffs, he don't win shit. There's a lot of quarterbacks
Hey,
like that.
look, same to him. I'm not discriminating. Same to him also. I'm not discriminating. So you said the Eagles was going to win. What did you say? 21-17?
I feel like 17 to 28. I want to say.
Oh, okay. All right. So I have the Eagles 24-21. I think the game is going to be close. I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't know. Because like I said, Kyler Murray is known as a scrambler, and he really hasn't been running like that this season.
Right.
Jalen Hurts got more. Hurts got more passing yards, if I'm not mistaken,
But shit, Jalen
and
Hurts
more
is like,
rushing.
but you can't compare Jalen Hurts because he's having a good year. He got more passing than like 80% of the league. I think he's third in yardage. So he got more than damn near everybody. There's only a couple of people ahead of him.
Okay, now I'm gonna ask you this question. This will be the Eagles will be 5-0 if they win today. Now, can we focus on the playoffs? Start focusing on the playoffs, in your opinion?
Well, we a playoff team. If we playing like this, our defense alone is showing us the way. And then we first in rushing. We
Hmm.
got a damn MVP candidate with Hurt. So yeah, we definitely gonna make the playoffs as long as no major injuries happen.
Okay. All
Now
right.
on the radio, they getting fat heads and talking Super Bowl. I ain't talking Super Bowl. I'm talking playoffs and maybe NFC championship game.
Hmm.
But I ain't saying win that game because I don't know who we're gonna play, and there's a lot of tough teams once you start getting deep in the playoffs. Because
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers been playing like a bitch all year, but they still 3-1. You know what I mean? So you can't just overlook players like that.
Right.
He ain't got
Oh.
no running game. He ain't got no receivers, but he still find ways to win.
Hmm. I think that's why they got rid of they got rid of what's the Devontae Adams is his last
Hmm
name? I think that's why they got rid of him. They said, well, shit. Uh,
Well, because
we
he was about to break the bank and they didn't want to pay him. That's the reason they got rid of him.
and Aaron Rodgers might not be there next year.
Hmm
So they're gonna pay big money to a wide receiver.
Right,
And
it
who
wouldn't
the
be
hell's the
worth it.
quarterback?
Uh-huh.
Right. Who's the
But
quarterback gonna be?
it is because if you let Love take over, at least you got a bona fide weapon for him. And a lot of times when we talked about this, they don't do young quarterbacks justice in the league, especially the
Hmm.
brothers. But some of the young white guys is the same boat. They don't give them the weapons to succeed. They throw them out there with a banged up line, no receivers, and then they get their ass kicked and say, "Oh, well, he was a bust. Oh, he was a wasted pick." No, you didn't put him in a position to succeed.
Right, right. Yeah, that's why I liked when I was telling you about that the Pivot podcast with what's his face?
Hmm
Yeah, that's why I told you to listen to him, how he broke it down. Like you got to give a young quarterback, you got to give him ways to succeed. You can't just like throw him out there and when he fuck up, you're going to say, "Oh, let's get rid
hmm
of him." Yeah, that's bullshit.
Well, shit, we saw that firsthand all the years with McNabb, Todd Pinkston, Torrance Smalls, all these type
Mhm.
of dudes that got cut from the Eagles and was out of the league. Whenever your
Yep.
receivers get cut and they out of the league, that tell you they trash.
And he still prevailed. And then when they went and got a big time wide receiver, what happened? They went to the Super Bowl. Didn't
Yep.
win, but they went.
hmm
So yeah, that's hey look, hey, he still succeeded with all. Hell, look, you can say the same thing for Randall also. You can say the same thing for Randall. They ain't do
Well,
shit to that
well,
offense.
see,
The
well,
defense was
see,
great.
see, his offensive line was banged up, and he didn't really have a good running back. I think he had like Keith Byers or somebody like that. He was okay, but he wasn't a good running back. But I thought Calvin Williams and Fred Barnett could catch. Now I don't know about separation because I was too young to like pay attention that close to the game, but I know
Right.
they would make big catches, so I thought those guys could catch.
Yeah, but it's like you said. I used to see Fred Barnett all the time too. He must still live in the area. I used to see him walk around all the time. Uh, um, but it's pretty much like you just said. When once they left the team, what did they do? I think Fred Barnett went to Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken, or if I'm getting him mixed up with Freddie Mitchell.
That's
I
Freddie
don't.
Mitchell. But
Okay.
back in the day it was different because most of those players played most of their career on one team, and then when they finally did leave, they was pretty much washed in. Not like today where players are young and move to another team. Because when I was little, I thought Keith Jackson was the best tight end in football. The way he was busting ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he had weapons. I just don't think he had a line. That's why he was always on his ass and getting hurt. That's
Yeah.
the first thing you need to give a quarterback is a line. Give him a line, and then give him some receivers, and then give him a running back.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, y'all. We'll be back at halftime. Like I said, we have a guest already. I'm not gonna mention just in case he doesn't show up, and we'll have to get someone else, or we just do it with us too. So I'm not going to say who it is, and we'll see you at halftime.
All right. Peace out.
All right, it's halftime. The Eagles are winning 14-10. Some quick stats on the Eagles side: Jalen Hurts 15 for 22, 140 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Rushing, we got Hurts 9 carries for 36 yards, and Miles Sanders 6 for 15. On the receiving side, we got Devontae Smith 5 receptions for 58 yards, and Dallas Goedert 5 receptions for 37. On the Cardinals side, we got Kyler Murray 15 for 25, 138 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Rushing, we got Connor, 9 carries with 55 yards. On receiving side, Highwood Brown, 5 receptions for 71 yards. I'm sorry. What the hell happened to the damn running game? Ran good last week. Don't run
Yeah.
the ball this week. What the fuck is going on with this team?
And you can see Jalen Hurts is tired. He's huffing and puffing, and you still making him drop back or making him run. Hand the goddamn ball off. I just don't understand.
Exactly. And then they have a 14-7 lead, and they're playing like they're behind with like 2 minutes left.
Yeah,
Keep
exactly.
throwing the football down the field.
No
Right.
huddle offenses and throwing it down the field. I just
This is
don't get it.
this is what I was trying to tell our guest last week, Mr. ET, about the Jaguars. Like you got a 14. Okay, the Eagles scored 14-7. What I would do is I would just keep running the football. Your wide receiver averaged like what was it, 4 yards a carry? So if he
Mm-hmm.
averaging 4 yards a carry, he's running the football well.
Yep.
Why would you not run the football? I don't get it. That's why they lost that last week. And this week, the way the Eagles are playing, they're going to mess around and lose this week by doing the same thing the Jaguars did, not running the football.
Well, maybe somebody will talk to the coach and he'll get it together.
I hope so. Because this is a poor game plan for the Eagles this week. We gave them props last week with a good game plan he had. This week they playing shitty. Well, they're not really playing shitty. It's just that your offense isn't balanced. Yeah, well, that's all I had to say. Anything you want to?
Not really. I'm just mad that they're just not handling the ball like they should.
Same. Same. That's why I already don't have much to say. Miles Sanders, 2.5 yards a carry. Where is Boston Scott now? I see him on the bench. Is he playing?
I have no idea.
Okay, I see him on the bench with his uniform on. I don't know why he's not getting any carries. Gainwell, what happened to him? You got personnel and you're not using them.
So they're acting like because they call a Jalen Hurts run, that count as a run. That don't count as a run as using your running back because you're still getting wear and tear on your quarterback. Let them just hand the ball off. That when you got a lead like that.
Yes.
14-0, and we still forcing passes down the field.
Exactly. Yeah. And when he threw that interception, I was like, good. That maybe they'll change and start running football. Then it was ruled incomplete. And what they do after that, start throwing the football down there on the field again.
Oh, all right. Since that one don't count, we still all right.
Right. Uh-huh. Well, before we go, let's give props to our Philadelphia Phillies. I forgot to talk about them at the pregame show. They beat the Cardinals yesterday 2-0 to move to face the Atlanta Braves in the National League Championship Series. So good luck to them. They scared me at the first game because I was like, oh man. And I was like, damn, Wheeler pitched a good game too.
Yep, I was watching it at the job, and then as soon as I leave, that's when they fucking go on the tear.
Yep. And I said to myself, watch they score when I leave. I come home and they winning 6-2. And another good pitching performance last night. And yeah. Good game for them. Hopefully the Eagles will beat the football version of the Cardinals today. Well, all right, y'all. We'll be back at the post game wrap up. I'm pissed off, so I really don't have much to say.
They might adjust because they adjusted the last time they was doing this dumb shit.
Yeah. Well, they adjusted at the end of the first quarter to going to the second quarter last week and started running the football. So maybe they'll change, like you said. And then, and that's another thing. The type of carries Miles Sanders is getting is always that run pass option, like
trickery
right up the
shit.
middle. Yeah,
just give him the goddamn ball and let him run.
Exactly. And it's like the Cardinals defensive line already know what's going on there.
Yep.
So I like to see some personnel. I like to see some Gainwell. I like to see some Boston Scott. Even that rookie from last week, he was running the football good too. Put him in the game and give him some carries. Run a damn football.
Just run the ball. You got a 14-point lead. You're supposed to pound the ball, pound the clock.
Exactly.
Make them stop you.
Exactly. Well, all right, y'all. We'll be back.
All right.
right, that's the end of the game. The Eagles won this one 20-17. Some stats: Jalen Hurts, 26 for 36, 239 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Rushing, we have Jalen Hurts, 15 carries for 61 yards, and Miles Sanders, 15 carries for 58 yards. On the receiving front, we have Dallas Goedert, 8 receptions for 95 yards, and Devontae Smith, 10 receptions for 87 yards. Cardinals, Kyler Murray, 28 for 42, 250 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Rushing, we have Connor, 9 carries for 55 yards. On the receiving front, Hollywood Brown, 8 receptions, 78 yards, and Moore, 7 receptions for 68 yards. Very poor performance by both teams all around. And like Phil and I mentioned at halftime, the Eagles need to run the football. They ran the football a little too late to kill the clock. Just what we was talking about. It was little too late at the end of the game. Soon as when the Cardinals tied it up, then they wanted to run the football and try to kill the clock. And let me see. Miles Sanders was 4 yards a carry, 3.9, 3.9, but you might as well say it was 4 yards a carry. So he wasn't running the football that bad. This is what I was saying to the guy last week about the Jaguars. You look at his average is not bad. So why are you not running the football? And then Gainwell came in with his 3 carries. He averaged 6.7 yards a carry. Like you got to start running the football more. You got to give yourself a balanced offense.
And the Cardinals is in the same boat as us because their running backs ran pretty good, and we usually shut down a run, and they just didn't get carries. Like Connor's a solid running back. He should have got more than 9 carries.
Did he get hurt? Did he get hurt or?
I think he got tweaked, but he came back.
Okay.
And Kyler Murray shouldn't be throwing the ball 40 times. No, I was just saying that Kyler Murray shouldn't be throwing the ball 40 plus times. And they could have ran the ball a little bit more too. They're in the same boat as us with shitty play calling.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep, on both sides, bad play calling. Now we have a guest here. This guest is what Phil, a 4-time champion, a 4-time returning champion. We got from Phoenix, Arizona. You in Phoenix or?
I'm in Phoenix. Yes.
Okay, Phoenix, Arizona. Ryan Gutierrez. How you doing, Ryan?
It's I mean, down dead, but overall, it's a good opportunity to play with you.
And you messing up.
Your mic breaking up.
Yeah.
Is it? I'm fading in and out right now from Wi-Fi to data.
You sound better now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, yeah. So tell us what's going on with the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, I mean, they didn't have their kicker today. That's what happened. They
That's
don't have
no
the number
excuse.
one. They don't have their number
No
one
excuse.
target. They don't have DeAndre Hopkins. And but hey, first and foremost, if you want to pay Kyler Murray close to $250 million, then he needs to perform. And he it was a great game. Philly has an exceptional defense. And so anybody to hold it close to make a comeback against that defense and against Jalen Hurts, who reminds me of a young Russell Wilson, it was a hell of a matchup today.
You were very positive. None of those excuses that you made don't fit.
I thought it was a trap game for Philadelphia with Dallas looming next Sunday night. So they came out and they performed extremely well today.
They played solid. I wouldn't say extremely well.
I agree with you.
With backup offensive tackles, and I thought they held up extremely well on the offensive front. What should they have scored more points? Absolutely, with AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert that they have, Miles Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
That was a formidable Arizona defense that they went against. So it was an excellent game, but the better team won. That's what it came down to.
Now, speaking of your kicker, they showed pregame that he missed 3 straight from that same position. What was it, wide right?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
wide right.
So if he's that terrible, why are you taking a chance? You should have just went for it.
Well, they just signed him this week. So Matt, our original kicker, and he's been clutch for the last year plus. So not having him, that was the difference in the game today. So Matt Amendola, who is inconsistent, this is his 3rd team for a reason. That was the difference right there. But and what the local media will portray here is that Kyler got down too early on that long third down run to make it 4th and 1 with 22 seconds left. And that's going to be the focal point all week long until we play in Seattle next Sunday, is that Kyler got down too early. His field awareness wasn't great, and that he should have known better. If you have a first down with 19 seconds left after you spike the ball, then things could have been different. But
right.
Those are the chances you take when you sign a kicker Wednesday in practice.
Now, in Kyler Murray's defense, before he got down, 2 Eagles was zooming in on him. They would have killed him.
And Kyler's 5'10" at best.
So he did the right thing getting down. Everybody wish he could have got that extra little bit to get that first down. But if he tried to get that, they would have killed him.
Well, and that's the difference between Kyler Murray's size and then Jalen Hurts' size. So Jalen Hurts can go run right up the middle and take some hits.
All right. Well, the thing is, okay, he was short, and you already knew he was short. Why not just run a play instead of spiking the football?
Boy, hey, with Cliff Kingsbury's 5-year extension he just received, why not? But at that time, I mean, what I thought was that the play clock was a little conservative, that you were playing for the kick right there at the end. You were playing to get to overtime, try for the tie, and then we'll take our chances there. But it's tough because that Zach Ertz play where he was wide open.
Oh, that was a
threw it out of bounds. Oh, he was wide open. So that could have changed a lot of things. You get out of bounds with the first down after a 25-yard gain, and that could have opened up everything. But the clock's running, and
now I got a question about your squad. How come Kyler Murray is not using his legs? Because he didn't start running until the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Right, and the big thing here is that when Kyler runs, we win. When Kyler goes over 50 yards or has close to 10 rushes a game, it opens up the whole entire field, and we generally have a better outcome than what happened today. But the thing is that Kyler Murray is small. He gets banged up, and that's why we wear down at the end of the season. We started 7-0 last year and then faltered down the stretch. Kyler Murray missed, I think it was 3 games in the middle of the season, and he just wasn't the same. Same thing 2 years ago. He got injured, wasn't the same kind of player, because then he really holds back the run, and then he only becomes a pocket passer. And so his game is based off the all-around game, running, passing, all that stuff. When he just becomes a sole passer, then the teams, they load up in the backfield and they try to stop the pass instead of stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, what's everyone's feelings there about Kyler Murray? Is this your quarterback from the long haul, or because a lot of people aren't really? The thing about him is he has a real good regular season and he plays awful in the playoffs. So this has been 2 years straight.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this has been 2 years straight. He's done that.
Pretty much 3. His whole career.
3.
It's pretty much been the same thing. His rookie year, he went 5-11. When we went to LA his second season, he had a high ankle sprain that he sat out a quarter at least. I think he sat out 2 quarters and came back the fourth quarter. When if we won in LA, we would have went to the playoffs. And then last year we start 7-0, and then we really fall down the stretch. It's all based off his injuries. He has not lasted an entire season. Once we get to week 8, 9, 10, that's when the injuries start popping. It's the brutal stretch of the entire NFL season with his 17-game schedule now, let alone 16 games a couple years ago. But he has not shown that he can make it through an entire season without being banged up, without being injured, missing games. And then that's when our season starts to fall apart.
Mm-hmm. All right, Phil. Like Mr. Guerrero said, the Eagles are hosting the Dallas Cowboys Sunday night game. Are they going to be undefeated afterwards?
I would believe so. The Cowboys have been playing good. I think they went in tonight right now, too. I haven't been checking.
They went into LA and won today.
Yeah, so they've been playing pretty good with Cooper Rush. I think we can get them though.
No, you need to get them. That should be a big win for Philly.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gutierrez, the Arizona Cardinals are going to Seattle to face the Seahawks. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, the reclamation project that Geno Smith is, my gosh, he looks remarkable right now.
Yes, and they should have won. They should have won this week too, but that defense failed them.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a young defense too. And they've talked about in the broadcast how Pete Carroll needs to go back and they need to figure something out because they cannot stop anybody on the defensive side. But Geno Smith can sure put up some points. So Seattle, the weird thing about the Seattle-Arizona rivalry is that the road team always wins. So usually we go to Seattle and we shock them. And then Seattle comes here and they beat the hell out of the Cardinals. So if that trend continues, we'll see. But I expect a pretty motivated effort going up to Seattle to get to 3-3. Then you get DeAndre Hopkins back in Week 7 against New Orleans on a Thursday night. I think these guys are going to come out and play pretty well next week in Seattle. They always do. So if it goes against the road, then hey, we're 2-4 and things aren't looking so well at that point,
right?
When does Hard Knocks start?
Hard Knocks starts November 9th. So
okay.
HBO keeps teasing it with all these little trips. But yeah, November 9th will be the in-season Hard Knocks for HBO.
Okay, now how far are they going? Are they going until when the Cardinals lose? If they go into the playoffs or?
Now that's a question. I'm not too sure how far into the season they go. I thought it was just purely based off regular season.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how much that spills into having episode air into the playoffs. But yeah, some teases from a couple weeks ago. So they're putting together, I guess, quite the compelling viewing program for HBO for the next couple of months at least.
So, and are they going to show Kyler Murray playing Call of Duty? And who else he plays Call of Duty with? Because they kept talking about it in a broadcast. That
Teammates wise, I'm not so sure. Devin Booker, he's pretty well known on the video game circuit around these neck of the woods. But Kyler, I'm not sure how much they'll dive into the home life of Kyler Murray. But one of the teases the trailers that they released today showed him leading the quarterback room and talking a bunch and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see like how much of his personal life is brought to the screens and stuff compared to his football life.
Yeah, they'll just show him sitting in the room playing Call. As soon as he get off of practice, they're gonna show him going home, and he's gonna sit in his room playing Call of Duty.
Hey, if you're running a post on Call of Duty, then hey, whatever helps at this point.
Now, Mr. Gruyere, speaking of Devin Booker, now are the Suns are in trouble because they just lost to an Australian league basketball team, the Adeline 36ers. Adeline, is that how you pronounce the name?
Correct.
36.
Yeah, you're
and
correct.
The guy played good. I forget who was it that kept shooting those threes out of like damn near half court.
I don't know his last name. Randall. I think was that his last name? I think he was a local kid actually, and had like a huge like family and friend presence at the arena for that game.
Right.
Doesn't make anything better, but
Craig Randall. You're right.
Craig Randall, yeah. So I thought he was a local kid from here. I mean, when you make 24 3-pointers, I mean, should that happen? Absolutely not. They came back, cut the next game, and they beat LeBron James and the Lakers in Vegas. So whatever that means, the whole narrative right now is okay. It's preseason. It doesn't matter. Even if we lose to a JV high school team as an NBA professional team, it doesn't matter. But there are a lot of looming situations that are on the horizon for this organization right now. And if you have the leadership that you have with Book and Chris Paul and Monty Williams and James Jones as your general manager, that they should be able to right the ship and get this thing on the right path going forward for the start of the season.
Now, Philip, would you be embarrassed if your team lost to a Australian League basketball, and they weren't even the best Australian League basketball team? I think they were like ranked 7 out of 10.
They were 10 and 18 and stuff like that. Yeah, I saw a couple Australian people say, "Hey, this whole roster is brand new." That doesn't make a difference. It's still embarrassing. It's still something that you snap on the record.
See, I don't think it's embarrassing, and I don't think nobody took it serious. These preseason games, most of the league starters are only playing about 10 minutes. Some not even playing. So I haven't been watching these preseason games because, like I said, they're going half speed. They don't really care. I think it's just a way for players to get their legs up under them before the real games start.
Right.
So
Right.
you can't count nothing about that. I wouldn't even be embarrassed about that. Nobody worried about
Okay, but the best players are in the NBA, correct? And don't they always say like the deepest person on the NBA bench is better than anyone else
You
in
would you
different
would
leagues?
Yeah,
think.
but
Yeah.
if that was a season game, Phoenix would have blew them out. It wouldn't have been no question. So nobody's worried about these preseason games like that.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of the sentiment here as well. It's like, okay, it happened. So be it. They went on to beat the Lakers at full strength against the Lakers full strength team the next night or like a couple days later. So the whole that's kind of like a small little um part of the whole grand scheme right now with the whole ownership situation and the looming sale and stuff like that. And fortunately for the Phoenix market, that's kind of a little blip on the radar.
Hmm. Well, I don't know about that one. I just think don't you just can't really just brush it off that way like Philip just did because you got to see the game, Philip. Did you ever see the? Did you watch the highlights?
I don't care. It don't count. If
It
it
don't
don't count,
matter. It
it
does
does
count.
matter.
It does count because that's like a team, an NBA team, damn near losing to the Harlem
The
Globetrotters.
NBA players don't play, and the ones that do play are not playing full minutes. Like it's
The
not that
deepest.
serious.
No, if you the deepest person on the bench and you're playing, you're going to play hard because you're not really going to play in the regular season, right?
Well, you might be playing hard if you're trying to make the team or something like that. You know what I mean?
If
Or trying to get more clock. But
exactly, so
it doesn't
that's
if the
it.
game don't matter, then people don't take it serious. Like
No,
what was the Sixers preseason record last year? Who
they were
knows?
going against NBA
Who
teams, sir.
knows? It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is don't nobody care about the preseason in football or basketball. That's just a way to get players their legs up under 'em.
But that was against NBA teams. I see your point, but this is a team that's with a league where they always say the deepest player, the person that only getting 2 minutes a game on the bench, is better than any person in any other league. So here was the chance to prove it, and this team beat
Yeah,
beat
that
the
don't matter.
NBA caliber team.
You're taking a preseason game that don't nobody care about except you.
I don't care. I'm not a Phoenix fan. Mr. Gutierrez is a Phoenix fan.
I mean, does that take the hypothetical out of it then? Did they not sign the right players that could compete against an Australian team at that point?
Pretty much. And you think Randall, the Phoenix probably might sign Randall.
Yeah, at this point, if a kid can shoot the ball like that, why not?
Right. Oh, see, you got to see the highs, Phil, because you got to see how this guy was shooting 3 pointers. They was like half court. He was like shooting 3 pointers everywhere, and he was going straight in.
It
Okay,
was
and
like the
we
Manu
saw
Bowl game in '93 when he made
we saw
8 out
we
of
saw
9
Jimmer
threes.
Fredette destroy the colleges, shooting threes everywhere, putting up 50, 60 points, and then couldn't even make it in NBA.
Well, this
So
guy he played NBA. He played the NBA team. It was shooting 3 pointers. See, there
it
you
don't
go.
matter. It don't matter. I don't even know why I'm talking about a game that don't count.
But he was playing against
It
NBA
don't
team.
matter. It don't count.
I mean, hey, if Phil got hot, then and he started making some threes left and right, he could have carried them too.
So, all right, Mr. Guerreros, we can laugh at you that the Eagles
It's
beat
all
the
good.
Cardinals, but you can laugh at us because it's 90 degrees there today, right?
It's beautiful. Not in the sky as well for October 8th or 9th on a Sunday. It's perfect out here.
Oh, thanks a lot.
So I'm kind of curious for you guys, like after a big win on the road before Dallas, the Eagles are 5-0. How are you guys looking at the Philadelphia Eagles right now?
In terms of like going to the playoffs or
Yeah, it's. I mean, the season's still early.
Mhm.
I mean, the noise will get louder for a Super Bowl run. Jalen Hurts looks incredible. Nick Sirianni looks like he is a revelation this season and his second year. What are the expectations with every win that mounts for the Eagles right now?
My thing with the Eagles is their offense got to be more balanced early. Now, as you see, they were getting pass happy in the first quarter. Well, the first quarter and I mean, I'm sorry, the first half and the third quarter, they were so pass happy. When Arizona tied the game up, then that's when they wanted to start to run the football and kill the clock. No, you should have did that earlier and had a.
Right.
They're throwing the football. They were in the lead and they were throwing the football like they were behind. So if we can get more of a balance offense, They could have put more points on the board. And
Mhm.
okay, the same thing like they did last week. Okay, they was started throwing the football in the first quarter. In the first quarter, Jalen Hurts got an interception. It was bad weather. Why are you throwing the football down the field? So they
Right.
started running the football, and that's how they won. So they one thing I can say about them, Philip, the Eagles coaching do make adjustments. They
Yep, we
do make
Absolutely.
talked
adjustments.
about that too.
I can give them that. But let's not make adjustments. Let's just start running a balanced offense from the start of the game.
And with today's game, was it a couple holding calls that were deep in Cardinal territory that kind of changed the outlook and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's the same guy. He's like a third string guard or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not fresh and in game ready. So you're gonna get those type of joints.
Right. Yeah.
If it was a veteran, I'd be more pissed.
Oh, hell yeah. And if you change those 3 points into 7 points, this game looks a hell of a lot different, too, with the final score.
Yes.
But
Mhm.
it was the thing that was impressive was, what was it, 16, 17 play drive that took off 8 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes.
was impressive as hell with all the run. Miles Sanders ran right down the Cardinals' throats. Jalen Hurts
But we
made
should
big
have been
time
doing that
throws.
once we went up 14-0. That's how we should have been doing.
Agreed.
Right. Yeah. And it is a game of adjustments and stuff like that. And the Cardinals made adjustments and they got back into the game. But ultimately, the Eagles, they look incredible right now. And that should be a hell of a showdown next week against Dallas on Sunday night.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Yeah.
So I saw they put up a stat. It was like fourth quarter scoring. We ranked 27th in the NFL. There's
Hmm.
only 32 teams, so that's bad. So
Right.
either we got a big lead and we just run a clock out, and that's why teams are scoring on us like that. But
Uh-huh.
you can't be in the bottom like that.
If
So,
you think that's bad, we have gone. Okay, I got 2 stats for you. We have gone 5 straight games to start out the season without scoring a first quarter point, and we have not won a home game since October 24th of 2021. We are about 2 weeks away from going a full calendar year without winning a home game.
damn.
Yeah, that's
Dominate,
bad.
dominate on the road, but we cannot win at home.
That's ugly.
Yeah, that's bad.
Last home win was against the Houston Texans, October 24th of last season.
Yeah. So, all right, Mr. Gutierrez, what's your social media?
On Twitter, I am at RGUTIE7, RGooty7, first initial, half my last name. And that's where I was glad to find you guys and stuff. So that's where you can follow me for anything that comes to Cardinals, Suns, Diamondbacks, Coyotes, sports across the country. I love it all. So if you guys want to find me there, you can find me there.
Now, did you start that podcast?
I have not yet, but yeah, I have not. It's still, I want to say, kind of a work in progress. I still get a ton of pressure to do it. It's just a matter of like finding time and stuff like that. I guess it's like the huge part to navigate to get that started. But it's still on the right radar and itinerary. It's like sports aren't going anywhere. So I will always have something to talk about, to discuss, to think about, and to articulate to people that want to listen to it, whether that's locally, nationally, in Pennsylvania with the Philadelphia Phillies who just advanced. It comes down to anything that people want to talk about.
Mhm. And you can reach the Judgmentals on Facebook, Twitter, at PNL Judgmentals. Oh, and TikTok at PNL Judgmentals. Instagram at the_judgmentals. Or you can email us at pnljudgmentals@gmail.com. We also have a YouTube, I'm sorry. Search PNL Judgmentals and you'll see our episodes. Follow us. Listen to an episode, leave a comment. If Philip did something wrong, talk about Philip and he'll reply. Yeah, I should talk more about the YouTube more. Follow us, subscribe to us. They don't do follow. Subscribe to us on Facebook, on YouTube if you can. And thank you, Mr. Guerrez, for joining us.
Nah, Phil, you guys are my 2 favorite uncles on the East Coast, so it's all good.
Is that an old thing?
That's what
we
it sound
all
like.
yeah.
A little bit. Hey, that's what happens when you guys become family.
Oh, that's good. All right, thank you for joining us.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate all you guys ever do for me and stuff like that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Hey, it's good to hear. Good to hear from y'all.
Good to hear from you too.
And watch our eagles fly.